Okay, and welcome back. Now the work is finished on the actual pod, it's time to start the engines. As you can see by the little lines there, all the way around, there's 4 of them. There's 4 parts to each engine, as you can see. Each engine has its own sprue, left and right. Now once you've constructed the engines, you don't know which ones are left and right, but that piece there, that circular piece, there will be like a section that goes on there, a housing section, and that's where the energy binders go. So that will be the centre of each one. Also, as you're gluing them together, you got these little inserts here. You glue them from the inside. There's 2 to each engine, so that's 4 in total. And then you get your tape, and then you wrap it round, and then you leave it to dry. There's the other engine with the 2 inserts from the inside. Again, do it from the inside. I've got all my parts set out so I can start building the engine, so time to crack on. Stay with me. Okay, and welcome back. As you can see, I've been at work on the engines now. You got the exhausts on that side there. They're painted in anthracite, as you can see. Then you got the engines at the front. They're painted in yellow, and this in that yellow section there's actually a fan inside that, pre-built in, and then that fan you glue in. There's a little locating hole and a pin, and you just line it up. Those are painted in the gunmetal, if you remember from the army painter. So those are glued on now. Again, with the army painter gunmetal, I've gone all over the engines because I thought the silver, which I painted those in for the exhausts, I didn't think it was dark enough, so I used the gunmetal. It's gone down really, really nice. Before I've glued any of the rod assemblies on, I've painted that in blue all the way around, as you can see. Then I've got this thing here. I don't know if it's some kind of braking assembly. Let me show you on the plans. You can see that it's a sandwich assembly onto that section there. So you got that section there, and then you got the 2 sandwich assemblies. So you put that one onto the assembly first, and then you glue that one on. The mounting assemblies in the gunmetal, and then I've got the 19 Humbrol red. It actually looks like a purpley red, so I could have used the other purpley red, but it's come down really, really nice. Now, putting that to one side, I've got pretty much the full assembly one. As you can see, I've put the assembly rods on all the way around, and on the other side as well. And I'm just getting the I'll put the tape on to hold them in while the glue's drying. So it's basically, here's one I made earlier. So that's where I'm sitting at the moment, guys. Stay with me. Right, welcome back. As you can see, progress continues on the engine. Well, the one engine, I should say. Now basically, I started at the back with the rods. As you can see, they're all pretty much painted, apart from those 2. Because when I put the rods on, I noticed I had a little hole spare and a slot spare, because that is number 21. Even though on the instructions it only tells you to put 1 of them on, you've actually got to put 2 on, because you get a spare 1. And that one is number 26. I'd forgot to put that one as well. Right, once I'd realised what I'd done after painting the rest of them, I then put number 17 on. That goes into the side there. There's that and that there. It's like a square C shape, and then that goes into the hole there, and there's one underneath. So you'll have to tape that down really, really well. Also, you got the rods on the front here. Now 31 and 32, you've got 2 each of those. So again, if you've got a slot or a hole missing, you know you've got to put an extra one in. Now, this one here, which I believe is 31 possibly. Yeah, could be 31 or 32. When I put the energy binding housing in, because the energy binding housing is 2 halves, you put that into place. I had difficulty getting that one in. It wouldn't align with those 2 holes. So what I had to do is bend it round slightly, and then with the tape, because it wouldn't hold it by itself, I had to get the tape, one on that side and one on that side, and wrap it all around. After I'd done these, of course, because when you put your tape around, you've got to wrap them around those as well. So you've got to do all in one fell swoop as you put the tape on, so it holds all those together. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 6 rods to hold with 2 pieces of tape. Also, as you're taking the tape off, be careful that you don't inadvertently pull them out. Even though they, these have been dry for 7 hours, you might actually inadvertently pull them out. Luckily, I didn't, but be careful as you're pulling the tape off. Now, the only construction I've got to do now is the air flap there. One of those retainers have got to go in there to hold the air flap in. And then you got the exhaust cone and the nose cone. But I'm not going to put those on till final construction, because if I do it now, as I'm fanning around painting all these and doing the final detailing, those will come off. But that is where I'm sitting at the moment, guys. Stay with me. Welcome back, guys. As you can see, this engine is now all done to match the other one. All the white rods are on. Energy binders on as well. Same problem with this rod. So I widened the holes with my circular tipped file, and then bent it round slightly, but it went in. So that's all that done. Now you will see that the engine covers here, the red ones, that one is brighter than that one, because basically that one was still in the white plastic. It was loose in the bag, because some of the parts had come off loose in the bag, if you remember from my outer box video. These were still on the sprue, so I primered those. That one, because it was raining outside, I couldn't be asked to primer it, so it's got about 3 or 4 coats. So with these, I'm going to have to put another 1, maybe 2 coats on to match that. Right, now with all the white rods I'm on, what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint them in gunmetal first, because these are actually copper. If I try to paint the copper on the white, it'll take me 3 or 4 coats to get the white to disappear, so it'll save me a lot of work. But that's where I'm sitting at the moment, guys. The engines, I'm almost done. Stay with me. Welcome back, guys. As you can see, work continues on the engines. I've painted all those white rods in the copper now. Basically put the gunmetal on first, waited for them to dry, and then painted the copper on. So I've done all that, all the way around on both engines, as you can see. I've also glued the vent covers on now. There's basically a bracket there, as you can see, very small bracket. Then while that's drying with the glue, you push that underneath on the bracket and then push it back down and get some tape around the brackets both sides. Then to hold the vent covers into place, because I haven't glued them into place, they are fairly free movable, I put a bit of tape on there as well to go all the way around to hold those into place. Once those are dried, I'll then just top that up with a bit of gunmetal. I've still got to dirty these up as well, weather them up. Once those are dried, I then moved on to the engine cones. Now, if you remember, I painted the engine cones in silver, but it didn't look right. I wanted them to give it like a rusty burnt effect. So basically what I did, as you can see they look burnt and rusty. I basically mixed some of the dark night blue that I painted the Blue Thunder in with a bit of silver, dry brushed that on. Then I gave it a bit of a wash with the Earthshade. Then once the wash had dried, I've dry brushed a bit of copper metallic on, and I think they look brilliant. They look really, really nice. Because if you look on the picture of the actual box, you can see that the guy who painted this model, he's just left them in silver. I didn't want to leave them like that, to be honest. So that's the engine, the exhaust cones done. I've just glued the fan engine noses on as well. They're drying. And then while I was waiting for those to dry, I've also glued the brackets on. You can see all the brackets all the way around. There's 3 of them for the braking flaps. Now you get 3 types of these brackets. You get the small ones, which is what I've used, and they'll be in a closed position. Then you get these slightly bigger ones, which makes them a bit more spaced out but a closed position. And then you got these at an angle ones, and then they would, going back to the box, they would display them like that, open. But again, I've decided to use the closed position. But to be honest, I'm really happy on how the engines have turned out so far. There's a bit of final detailing and to assemble these on, but the engines I'm almost done. Stay with me, guys.